So I think, I mean, it's called so many things, and it's a compass. So it's a light. It can be our chakra centers. It can be our tantien. It can be our heart. But I think we all know it. I think we all have felt when something burns inside of us and drives us and compels us toward action, or brings up strong emotions, or the opposite, when it flickers and when it fades and when it's barely there and darkness creeps in. So it's that fire, and it seems through many traditions, religious and spiritual traditions, that we each have that. Perhaps it's part of a larger communal fire that we're all bearing into the world at this time. Um, but that inward look is where our compass is. It's where our direction can be found, and it is individual. So even though we all have it, what lights your fire, Shanna, what lights your fire, Mandy, what lights our listeners' fire is unique. And the work that we have to do is to find out what it is. At this time, so here we are, we're in the middle of, the 2020, we're in the middle of an election, we're in the middle of a pandemic, we're in the middle of a lot of individual suffering on every level. That fire inside is flickering for a lot of people. In this week alone, and I know that time is infinite in podcasts, who knows when people are listening to this, but the same events will be true, just in different form. But in this week alone, we've had a presidential debate, the first, maybe the only, between Biden and Trump. And then this morning we awoke to the news that the president of the United States has tested positive for COVID. There's so much information coming in at us all the time that if we're not tending to our flame, it can blow out. I'm looking out my window right now. I'm in Virginia on the Chesapeake Bay, and it's a windy day, and there's some oak trees standing near the water, and they're blowing around. They're just going crazy in this wind that's coming in off the water today. But they're rooted. They're 50 years old. Their roots are deep and broad, and they're not going anywhere. Okay, so it's us. We can be tossed by the winds of the news, of social media, of our own suffering and challenges. We can be tossed by those winds if we're not careful enough to do the internal work of rooting ourselves and creating a solid foundation for dealing with this. So there's work we have to be doing right now.